morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back again to the Shadow and Sun Show, and part one of my look at the deities and demigods and heroes that populate our fantasy Dungeons and Dragons role-playing game, whatever you want to call it, tabletop role-playing game worlds. I've been thinking about this for a while, and so there's going to be a couple of different tangents. They say it's your player's game or it's your player's world, but is it really? If you're a good or even mediocre DM, you drew up the world before the players existed. Therefore, they're newcomers to it. And as you're drawing up your world, the first thing you should be thinking about are the gods. Who created the world in your game? Obviously you did. You're the DM, but you're also the man or the woman who controls the gods. So you're the emperor of the gods, if you will. And therefore you should know what they're doing. You should know who they are and what their motives and their goals. I mean, their real motives, their real goals. Vic, I was talking to him about it this morning or yesterday morning for you guys, because I'm a time traveler. Said, oh, they're just up there in the heavens eating grapes and being fanned by beautiful women. I'm like, really? So they're just sitting up in the clouds? That's it? That's the best you've got? Really? Okay, now maybe let's assume that that's what they're doing. But what did they do before that? What did they do to ensure their ability to finally rest on their laurels? I mean, they are in charge of churches and temples and monsters and heroes and all kinds of things going on in the world, or not? Are they just there to be at the beck and call of the players whenever they need a favor? Hey, Dad, can you wire me some money and a cure light wound spell? No. They're doing other things. If you go by the old deities and demigods books, like I was talking about, most gods have all their levels in each profession, kind of statted out. They're a 9th level this, a 12th level that, 25th level this, and most of the times they're in the double digits minimum if there's a profession listed, except maybe bard. So that means, if you go the route of divine ascension, and they were once mortals and they divine ascended through becoming a badass, and to do that they have to have stats above 18s, exceptional high levels, gone on quests, done heroic deeds, things to get them followers and make them better than the rest, so that they could eventually divine ascend. Well, okay, let's just go with that. So Thor was a mortal, and he became an immortal through doing all his things that were written about in mythology, because it's just mythology. And what did he do after that? Because that was thousands or hundreds of years ago. He just sat up there, what is it, where they fight and then they eat and then they do it all over again the next day? Is that really as two-dimensional as your deities are? It's no wonder that player characters get the notion that, yeah, I'm going to get a powerful magic item, I'm going to go kill the gods and take their power because they're so absolutely pathetic. That's where that comes from. If your gods are so weak as to be defeatable by mere player characters, imagine this: your god, your deity, whichever one you want to pick, just pick one. Hundreds and hundreds of years ago, they were a 25th level magic user, 20th level cleric, 15th level fighter, 10th level thief, blah blah blah, right? Well, those levels tell you what they can do, what they're capable of at any given moment. Even if you lower their levels because it was back in the past, you knock off 5 levels here and 7 levels there, some nonsense like that, that could still put them in the category of being able to cast 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th level spells. Well, in 6th level, you've got some really powerful spells, like Enchant Item. You've got, in the 7th level spell, you've got the Limited Wish. In 8th, you've got Permanency, I think, and 6th level, you also have Contingency, okay? So they could take a 7th level wish and be able to and wish that they can cast and have 2 contingencies up, and then the next day they cast a limited wish so they can have 3 contingency spells up, so that if any of these bad things happen to them, these other good things happen to them. Like, well, if I ever get struck by lightning, I get healed for 57 points of my clerical healing ability. Okay, and then those things would happen. So they could have prepared their immortality and their defenses against the other gods, because they're not really worried about the player characters and the piddly little peons on the planet. They're worried about the other gods. The other gods are doing the same thing. The evil gods, the good gods are always at war with one another, and they're both not on either side, just like kicking back with the babes fanning them, eating the grapes. They're not doing that for eternity. After about 10 years, I'd probably get pretty bored. And after, like the first year of that, when their gates get besieged by demons and giants and things like that from, Loki trying to kill them, they're going to be like, maybe we better do some stuff to make sure that don't happen on both sides, because, Thor could then go after Loki or whatever. Then there's this, they're like, other people have said, well, they're not omniscient. They don't know the future. The hell they don't. Why? Because you said so? Because you can't handle that? Or because you don't know how to work those mechanical abilities? There's these things called psionics. And if the player characters can be psionic and could have precognition, then when the gods have precognition, it would be far more reaching. Wouldn't it? Because most of the gods have psionics. Even if you don't want to run them, even if you don't want to use them, so you can take them away from the gods, but they still have everything I just said. In addition to the ability to make better magic items that are listed in the book with very little chance of failure, because their stats are so damn high and they already know where to get all the cool ingredients and have minions bringing and sacrificing those ingredients to them, so they don't even have to go anywhere to get them. They just put a phone call to all their high priests. Hey, I need some sage, some willow, I need some meteoric iron, and a couple of dragon teeth. Go get me those things. And about a month later, maybe less, their minions all bring them to them. So they're not making magic items. They're not doing anything. Just sitting there, kicking back. Your gods should have plans. When your gods bring in new priests into the fold, they probably have plans for them. When you have clerics, it's different than just the priests. The priests, they're stuck at the temple. They're doing the temple stuff. The cloistered cleric, as it were. But the gods, they have missions and plans for those clerics. They're out there to go out and do the thing for the gods, not just spread the word. Well, that's a big part of it. But wouldn't you think that if you were, like, especially if I could make up a brand new god, right? And he's like, say, 20th level in every profession, because he's just badass, right? He's a super powerful god. 20th level in every profession. What could he do on a daily basis? Even if he wasn't a god. Let's just say he was a human or an elf that happened to be 20th level in every profession. What could he get done in a day with his spells? With his druid magic, with his cleric magic, with his illusionist magic at 20th level, 15th level? What could a player character do at those levels? Well, the god would do those things even better and quicker and faster, with very little chance of failure, and have the assistance of all their followers of various levels and professions, etc. Because it's not just the priests and the clerics and the paladins, if you will, that are working for him. You've got your everyday, slubs working on the farm, praying to their god, effectively giving them magical energy on a daily basis and feeding them and their egos and their abilities. They might be able to do some crazy stuff, and some of that stuff is going to be guiding their clerics to maybe go get that item that they need, or take that item from their enemy, or crush their enemy. Those plans are all part of bigger plans. So when next time you talk to a player and they want to make a cleric, let them know that their god's got work for them to do. It's not the other way around. The players aren't in charge yet. Maybe someday, but it's their game, but it's somebody else's world, and they need to prove themselves in various ways. That's what the game's all about. That they're worthy of, the goals they aspire to. Maybe with some luck, and some planning and some forethought and a few godly miracles every once in a while won't hurt. They'll get there. But in the meantime, that's what I got for you guys today. I'd love to hear your comments in the comment section. Keep this one going. I will talk about it again next week, but I've got some more videos I want to share with you guys. I hope you guys go over and check out Married with Gaming. I should have said this earlier for the previous video, but I'll put it in the comment section because it's not quite done uploading. But go and check out Married with Gaming, and make sure it's the one with Mike and Jen, the blue and white logo, because there's like half a dozen Married with Gaming. I don't know how that's a thing, but anyways, love you guys. God bless.